All right, welcome back everyone for another deep dive. This time we are jumping into the world of Generation Z Uprising.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, it's a book that, well, kind of throws us into this future where young adults are leading this whole resistance movement against a pretty seriously oppressive regime.
Yeah.
So, giving us some of those major YA dystopian vibes.
Oh, for sure.
But what's really got us hooked is this character.
Oh,
I mean, she's leading this whole rebellion.
It's crazy.
And she's only 19.
19.
It's wild. So today we are going to do a deep dive into, her character and everything.
I am so ready for this.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So, we've got this 19-year-old M, and she's shouldering a lot, to say the least.
Yeah, no kidding.
And the book actually talks about, her being full of self-doubt.
Oh, yeah. And understandably right. Like, put yourself in her shoes.
I mean, I can't even imagine.
I know. Like, think about it. She's constantly living in fear, not just for her own life, but the lives of all these other people depending on her.
Right. Like, she's responsible for them.
Exactly. And, at 19...
That's crazy.
Most of us, back then, were just stressing about exams.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Not, dodging killer drones or whatever.
No kidding. And then, on top of all of that, she's stuck in this whole love triangle.
Oh, right. The love triangle. I was wondering when we'd get to that.
Classic YA,
It's got to be in there.
But I'm thinking, could this be like a distraction for her? Or maybe like a source of strength?
I see what you mean. It's easy to dismiss the love triangle as just like, oh, another cliche.
Yeah.
But I think it really speaks to M's internal conflict, like what's she really yearning for? Does one guy represent like the rebellion and the other maybe a normal life she can't even have?
Right.
And then how do those feelings then affect her leadership?
That's really interesting. And speaking of complicated relationships, we got to talk about Isabella.
Oh, yeah. Isabella Ana Maria Ortega.
Right. The Resistance's candidate for president.
She's a fascinating character.
Yeah. And the book really highlights this uncertainty that M feels towards her.
Totally.
Like there's this line where M is listening to Isabella speak. And M picks up on like this uncertainty in her voice.
Right. It's not just about like the words she's saying, but something deeper.
And then it's not even just her voice.
Yeah.
It's also like the way she smiles.
Wow.
The author even uses the word uncertainty to describe it.
That's just sure.
M is searching for something, any little crack in Isabella's facade.
Makes you wonder why, right?
Exactly.
And this is where things get really interesting, wouldn't you say?
Oh, for sure.
Because we find out that Isabella's father is Manuel Juan Ortega.
Oh, yeah.
The president's right-hand man.
Right, for national security?
Yeah, talk about a complicated family dynamic.
Oh, absolutely. Like on one hand, M has this potential threat, right? She's always worried about these Todesschwadron thugs.
Oh, right, the thug.
And the stealth androids and the killer drones.
It's intense.
Who knows what Isabella's father has access to.
For sure.
But then there's Isabella saying that her father loves her.
Right.
And that he'd never hurt her or the resistance.
It's such a classic dilemma, isn't it? Like, who do you trust more? The person you're fighting alongside or your own family?
Oh, wow.
Put yourself in M's position. Could you believe Isabella? Especially with everything at stake.
Yeah, it's tough. And what makes you really question Isabella is how the author keeps using the word uncertainty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, whenever M thinks about Isabella, it pops up again and again.
That's deliberate.
It makes you think, maybe this uncertainty is like M's gut feeling that something's off.
Yeah, exactly. And that leads us to the big question, right?
Oh, yeah.
Could Isabella be a double agent?
Working for her father.
Yeah. I mean, it's a scary thought.
It is.
But it's one M has to consider. Just imagine the consequences if Isabella betrays them.
Oh, it'd be disastrous.
Their plans, everything they've been working for.
All gone.
The entire resistance at risk.
And for M, personally,
right.
Talk about a betrayal.
Huge.
That would shatter her trust.
Completely.
I mean, that's a heavy burden for someone so young.
No kidding. Wow, we've uncovered a lot here.
I know. Generation Z Uprising. What a story. Talk about a twisted web of loyalty, betrayal, and, just this fight for freedom.
It makes you think.
Absolutely. And it just raises all these questions about trust, about leadership, about how far we'd go for the people we care about.
Really does.
It's one of those stories that just stays with you.
Oh, yeah.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. If you were M, facing all of this, and the dilemmas, the uncertainty, what would you do? Could you trust Isabella? Or would you be like M, just constantly looking for any sign, any little sign of betrayal? And let us know what you think. And until next time, keep on reading.
Check out Generation Z Uprising, the podcast that's sparking conversation. Tune in on the Generation Z Uprising YouTube channel and follow us across all social media platforms. Don't miss out. Join the movement today.